you had this interesting experience, like, because you're growing up, and obviously your dad, Quincy Jones, this powerhouse in the music industry, legendary person, and then your mom had been this, incredibly iconic figure who then stepped out and said, "Yeah, I'm stepping away from this world."
Yeah.
Very consciously.
Yeah.
And were you aware that, like, I'm just what my mom was doing before, when you were...
We knew for sure.
Because you're too young to have been watching Mod Squad.
No, we were not around. And we knew that she had this like big thing, but I think she just, I think she was really young and she was really famous really fast. And there was 3 networks and everybody watched the Mod Squad, so everybody knew who she was.
Yeah.
And my mom was kind of shy, so I think it just did not suit her. She was like, "No, whoa, no." And then when she fell in love with my dad, I think it like contextualized her life in a way where she was like, "Oh, this is what I want. It's like a family and a home, and and good friends, and to keep things small like this." She wasn't that person who was like seeking everybody else's approval and attention all the time,
And then I wouldn't know what that's like.
No, I know. That's why I'm explaining it to you.
So she didn't want
She didn't have a travel show. No. Mm-mm. She did not go visit fans at their houses.
Nah, I don't buy it. She was playing some kind of long con. Definitely, this was just a way to draw us in more. That's hilarious. She, because then I remember when she came to Twin Peaks, and it was like a huge deal.
Yeah, because she
Peggy
came
Lipton
back.
came back.
She came
and she
back.
was amazing.
Yeah.
Looked just, incredible.
Yeah.
And she was back. And I don't know where you would have been at that point. You still would have been a kid.
I was in high school. I was just thinking the other day, actually, because I was looking at my graduation pictures, and she was my age when I was graduating high school, when she was doing Twin Peaks.
Yep.
Which I'm like, because she looked so young, and I remember her being so young, and I'm like, but why don't I feel as young as the way I perceived her to be? She probably didn't. She probably felt tired, just like me. But yeah, it's like, it's mind blowing to think that that's where she was in her life, and she had 2 teenage kids, and was like, let me go back to this thing, Anyway, everybody makes life choices, and then you end up sort of in the same place, I guess.
Yeah. I was, it's funny because I was just thinking right now when we mentioned Twin Peaks that what I remember, because I was in my 20s, I think I was working on Saturday Night Live when Twin Peaks came out. TV was a certain way. Like you said, there were 3 networks. Maybe at that point, the 4th was just starting up, Fox, but really there wasn't much. And TV was very much a certain thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember turning on the TV and watching with my girlfriend at the time, Twin Peaks. And I cannot explain to any young person today, because we're constantly being bombarded with edgy, cool television on all the streaming platforms and everything. But this show came on that was unlike anything you had ever seen before. And when the pilot episode ended, everybody's face fell off who was watching it.
It was nuts.
And it was just an obsession. And then I remembered I was working at SNL. Kyle MacLachlan came on, and they did a sketch about Twin Peaks.
I remember.
And they needed a guard to be holding Chris Farley in the background. So they always did this for some reason. I look like a guy who should be doing something on television, but no one knew what the fuck what. So Lauren or Jim Downey was always saying, just put the costume on Conan and just have him. So I'm standing there. I don't think I even have a line. I'm just holding on to Chris Farley in the background of this Twin Peaks sketch. But it changed everything.
Yeah.
I find time and time again, it's very hard in the current day to tell people what it was like. TV was a certain thing, and then this show came, and you saw what a TV show could be.
Yeah.
How weird it could be.
It was so weird. It was so original.
It's
I was
scary,
obsessed.
too.
It was so scary. This is probably not appropriate for a teenager in high school, but I was so scared of Bob. I would check my bed every night. My mom is on the show. I know it's fake. And I saw him. I remember going to set and seeing him walk by on set, and like it felt like everything slowed down when he walked by. Right. And then eventually, by the way, in my 20s, when I went to the premiere of the movie Fire Walk with Me, I saw Bob. Still don't know his real name. Something Silva. I went to go introduce myself because I was like, this is ridiculous. Yeah. I'm an adult. I need to get over it. And he was so nice.
And he said, I was under your bed.
I am a murderer.
By the way, I was under there.
You were right to be scared.
I didn't do anything, but I was under there.
He was a set dresser. He was a set dresser for Twin Peaks, and David Lynch saw him on camera. Was like, there we go.
There's
That's
our guy.
Bob.
There's the guy.
Yeah. But what I was going to say is, kids now, maybe they don't understand, but I think they do. Like kids now give Twin Peaks its flowers, or whatever, however they say it. They really love Twin Peaks because there still isn't really anything like it. It's so authentically weirdo.
Yes.
In a way that like people try to manufacture now, but it's like, it's David Lynch TV, which is not like any
And when he
TV.
did it, there was just nothing like it. No. And I remember just being electrified. You'd wait for the next, and you had to wait.
Yeah.
You had to wait. I mean, I know there are still shows where you have to wait, but this was quite uncommon at the time.
Yeah.
And all of us, it's all any of us thought about. I was living in New York and watching Twin Peaks.
Me too. My mom wouldn't tell me anything. She had to like sign like some NDA every time she got a new script, and she would not tell me anything.
You have that going on. You also have, I mean, last time we were on the podcast, we talked a lot about the documentary you did, which I think was lovely and spectacular, about your dad, Quincy. And that's the title of the documentary. That's not me having the gall to call your dad Quincy.
You can. He would insist, actually.
Yeah. Hey, how's Quincy?
Yeah.
Hey, how's Q doing? Tell him C wants to know.
Doesn't have the same ring, I don't think.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't.
Your sounds more like a disease.
Yeah, tell him the big C says hi. Oh. Cancer? No. But I think one of the coolest parts in that documentary that just blows my mind is when Frank Sinatra's on some TV show and you had the footage, he calls your dad out and says, by the way, this is the best arranger, producer, music genius I know. Let's get him out here, Quincy Jones. And I thought, just such a stunning moment, you know?
Yeah.
And
he was a champion. Frank was his champion. They really loved each other a lot. And also, it's in the documentary, but there was so much racism at the time, and Frank had a lot of power, and he used it to change things because they wouldn't let the band stay at the casinos they were playing at, and he was like, "I'm not playing. My band's not staying here. I'm not playing."
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely incredible.
Cool. Yeah,
that's. Were you interested in music for that reason? I know that music's a big part of your life, obviously, but I also think you got very interested in religion. I think you studied religion. Did you study religion in college?
Yeah, I did.
That's fascinating. Was there a certain religion you were drawn to, or did you find yourself like bopping around between different religions?
I bopped a little bit. I mean, I grew up like culturally Jewish. My mom's Jewish, and then I spent a lot of time. My mom took us to a Hindu meditation ashram. So I spent a lot of time there as a kid and lived in India for a little bit. But then I was like really into Buddhism. I was in a church choir. I was kind of all over the place. I just liked the ritual of religion. I thought was really cool.
I grew up very Catholic, and so there's a lot of rules and obviously guilt and things like that. And then later on, just in my life, when I've just in living in LA and trying to be open to different things, and you're exposed to things like Buddhism, I think, oh my God, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
There's another way.
There's another way.
To look at it.
I don't have to necessarily hate myself.
Right. But that might just be you.
No, but I know, and then other people say, no,
everyone
should. You really should.
Oh,
No, that was such an unconvincing no.
I don't believe it. I'm not buying it.